Elementary costing. Introduction. When doing any work commercially, we have to fix the price of the product or service in such a manner that a reasonable profit is available for covering business risk. The profit would also strengthen the business in future. Therefore, the sale price of each item should be higher than the unit cost, including the manufacturing and the selling and distribution expenses that may be incurred. To assess the unit cost incurred over a period of time for doing a certain job, elementary costing techniques may be followed for a purpose such as dyeing and block printing. Calculation of unit cost. Where there is a continuous flow of identical products, that is, where it is not possible to distinguish one unit from another, a simplified system of taking the average cost over a period may be used. For example, a week or a month. Suppose 5,000 handkerchiefs are dyed yellow and block printed in February, for which cost incurred are as follows. Direct material consumed 5,000, direct labor cost 2,000, production overhead incurred rupees 500. The cost per unit is determined by dividing the total cost of the total number of units produced, that is 7,500 or 5,000, which is 1 rupee 50 paise per unit. This may be shown in the cost statement as indicated below. Thus, from the table it will be seen that prime cost is the direct cost of the material and labor used. Production cost of rupees 1 rupee 50 paise per unit will relate to each of the 5,000 handkerchiefs produced in February, regardless of the fact that on day 1 the unit's production cost was 1 rupee 45 paise each and on another it was 1 rupee 55 paise. The important fact is that 1 rupee 50 paise per unit is the average cost of the period. General features of process costing. The factory is divided into departments or processes which are each doing a particular job, that is dyeing or block printing, etc. Usually the materials are issued to the first process and the finished goods of the first process becomes the raw material of the next one, and so on until the final product is completed. Elements of production cost. The elements of production cost are explained as materials. Usually the materials are issued to the first process as explained above and are passed onwards to the next department as the processing is done. Labor. Time spent on production by the people involved in the production process is considered. Where employees are engaged full-time on a particular process, their full time is taken for purpose of costing. But where they are engaged in more than one process, their time is analyzed and appropriate cost is appropriated process-wise as accurately as possible. Direct expenses. Each item of expenditure that can be directly attributed to a process is taken. For example, design cost incurred for being used for preparing the blocks for block printing on handkerchiefs. Production overhead. The entire overhead cost, which is other than the prime cost, needs to be carefully analyzed and attributed to the various process to which it relates.